as you dive into this work, right? What becomes like, what is the process? Because again, there's one thing for it to be in your bones and just part of who you are. Right. And there's another part of it that becomes part of the system. Right. And like, being educated and all of that. That's so like, what was that process like?
Complicated.
Yeah.
Complicated. And so, mind you, I'm talking, 7-8 years ago. Okay. And so I've been practicing 7. Yes, okay. Absolutely. So now I see far more Black-led organizations, Black women-led organizations that are doing trainings. We created this field. We created midwifery, and it was taken from us like so many other things have been taken from us in this country. And so there's a reclamation that's happening of the work, the ceremonial aspects, the medicinal aspects, things that we knew because they've been passed down through our culture. Right. You never really question an older auntie or grandma when they told you drink this when you're sick. You just drank it and you felt better. And it was maybe a little bit nasty, but they knew what they were doing. They may not have had like a doctorate, but they knew what they were doing. And so I did do a formalized again with loose quotes, training through an organization called Root, Restoring Our Own Through Transformation, who I used to work with in the past. They're based out of Columbus, Ohio, and then did that midwifery assistant training as well, where I learned more of the hands-on things that I didn't know how to do, like how to count an infant's respiration rate, infant CPR, things like that, how to do cervical checks, not anything that I do typically, but have the skill set to be able to do that now, if the time comes, if that's something that is appropriate to do with a client.
What is the difference between a doula and a midwife? It sounds like is there a difference?
There is a difference. So you'll find some people that have crossover with both. When I was working in New Orleans, it was really beautiful to see they have a collective there that's a collective of birth workers. So there's midwives, doulas within the organization. Some folks are both, right? So midwives have a level of medical training as well. Okay. So doulas, if we're talking like a standard definition of a doula, they serve women, and it's more so from a physical, emotional, spiritual standpoint, if that is something that a client is choosing to have support for. And then you have some folks who have a combination of both experiences. You have some folks who have, I have a very dear friend of mine, I was her doula for 2 of her births, and she's also a lactation consultant and a doula. And so, she talked to me recently about how she learned when you come into a room, you have different skill sets, right? But you choose which one you want to use in that environment. And that was so beautiful to me. So it's like, wow, that relieves like pressure, right? Sierra had a midwife and a doctor who were on point.
That's a fact.
On point.
That is a fact.
Amazing.
That is a fact.
And so I didn't need to be concerned with like monitoring things in certain ways that I would have if she had a provider that was not as connected, that didn't see her, that saw her and you and your family just as another family coming through the door having a baby. I didn't have to give those consideration to those things.
Yeah, so. Yeah.